In this video, we'll talk about keys in database management system DBMS. You will be learning about what is a key, why we need the keys, different types of keys. So I request you, please stay tuned till the end of this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. Thank you. To start with this video session, I would like to tell you the importance and need of keys in database management system DBMS. So let's start. What is a key? Keys in database management system. What is a key first? Why we need the key and what is a key? So key is an attribute or a column name or field name in database management system or DBMS. So basically key is nothing but an attribute or the column name or the field name in a table of a database. Why we need the keys? What's the need or the importance of the keys? If we don't have keys, what will happen to the tables in database? If we have keys, what impact it is going to put on the tables of a database? Key uniquely defines data in table and allows to find relationship between two or more tables. What does it mean? If you don't have keys, you will not be able to identify the data, unique data or different type of data in tables. What's the key? Key is nothing but attributes or the column name or the field name. Every column consists of number of rows and columns. So in a table, if you are entering some data, that particular data should belongs to some respective column. Column head will be there or the column name will be there. With respect to column name, you are going to enter the data into the table of a database. So that's the reason column name is much more important. Column names or the field names are nothing but attributes of that particular entity, or it is also called as key in a database table. A key in a database table. So key uniquely defines data in table and allows to find relationship between two or more tables. So what is an attribute? So let's see this attribute. In this table, what are the attributes? Attributes are customer ID, customer name, and customer phone number. So I have this table here, customer table. In this customer table, the attributes are customer ID, customer name, and customer phone number. So all these are our attributes. So key is an attribute. Key is an attribute. So what are the different keys we have here? Customer ID, customer name, and customer phone number. All these are keys of this respective table customer. So keys are nothing but attributes of any table or column names of field names. So let's see types of keys we have in database management system. So we have these number of different keys in database management system: super key, primary key, alternate key, candidate key, foreign key, compound key, and composite key. So all these seven different types of keys, many more different keys are there. These are much more important keys. So let's start with this. What is a super key, primary key, alternate key, candidate key, foreign key, and compound as well as composite key? Coming to super key. What is a super key? Group of single or multiple keys will be called as super key. Primary key uniquely defines every row in a table. Alternate key column uniquely identifies every row in that table. So in this detail, in the detail we will be learning about what is the functionality of primary key, alternate key in coming slide of this video. So it's just an brief about what are the different keys we have. Candidate key set of attribute that uniquely identify tuples. Foreign key column that creates a relationship between two or more tables. Compound key has two or more attributes uniquely recognize a specific record. Composite key consists of more than one attribute to uniquely identify rows. So in this all these seven different types of keys, you will be able to recognize one thing. That is, the purpose of keys is to identify the unique data into the table. The purpose of all these keys to find out the unique data into the table, that is unique rows or unique data or unique record. So that's the reason we have the keys in database management system. So how to find out the unique data based upon the different circumstances, different scenarios, we have a different type of keys available with us. So each key will be applicable on different scenarios. So based on that, the key functionality changes and key working is also depends. So let's start with the primary key in database management system. So whenever you are going to create any table, primary key is very important. So if you are creating a table without primary key, database management system software will give you an error. So you must assign a primary key to a to any column of a table, to any column of a table. To which column you have to assign a primary key, that also we are going to discuss in this video session. So how to assign a primary key to which particular, how to identify the different keys to which you can give a primary key, to which you can assign a primary key, and which are the different fields available in the table on which we can assign the primary key. So all these details we are going to discuss in this video. So what is a primary key? Primary key is a key which uniquely defines each row in a table. If you have a primary key column, then it is going to uniquely define each row in a table, as well as it won't allow you any duplicate value in the column of a table. And primary key field cannot be null. So as well as a primary key, you cannot have more than one primary key. You cannot have more than one primary key in a table. If you have a primary key column in your table and that particular primary key is available somewhere in your database table, in some other table as a foreign key, you cannot modify or update it. So for example, if you have a customer table, in this customer table, so I have a customer id, customer name and customer phone number. So I'm going to make customer id as a primary key. So in this primary key column, I cannot have a duplicate values in terms of numerical data. I cannot have a duplicate values. Whereas if I take a customer name or customer phone number, this can be repeated. Customer name can be the same. So that's the reason I'm making this table unique with the help of a primary key column. Which is the primary key column? The customer id I'm making as a primary key column. The customer id I'm making primary key column. So this customer id will become a primary key column, which will ensure that whatever the data is entered into this customer table is unique. No data is duplicate. As well as you must enter the customer id, it should not be null. You cannot leave the blank. As well as this customer id will be interacting with the some other table as a foreign key. This customer id is a primary key of customer table. If it is appearing, for example, this is a customer table, for instance you will be having a purchase table. So if these both the tables want to interact, means this customer id is going to play the important role for this communication purpose between two tables or relationship between two tables. This two tables relationship, how you are going to define with the help of foreign key. So foreign key concept I will be discussing in coming slides. So this is all about our primary key. So without primary key you cannot imagine any table in database management system. Every table must and should have a primary key. If it is having a primary key, then only the data in the table will remains unique and it will not be null. Very important. In a table, you can have only one primary key. You cannot have more than one primary key. So this is all about our primary key. Next we have super key. What is a super key? By the name itself, a super key is a group of single or multiple keys which identifies rows in a table. Yes, so super key is a group of single or multiple keys which identifies rows in a table. What does it mean? A super key is a superset of primary key. Superset of primary key means every super key must have the primary key. Along with the primary key, some other keys will be there in super key. So super key contains a set of attributes including primary key, which can uniquely identify any data row in a table. For example, I have this customer table. So in customer table, I have a primary key, customer ID. So customer ID is a primary key of the customer table. So now you can have the super key by using primary key. How you can have the super key? For example, you have customer ID, customer name, customer id, customer phone number. So these two will be called as our super key, will be called as our super key. And next you have customer id, customer name, customer phone number is not a super key. Why it is not a super key? Because a super key should have only selected attributes or some attributes of the table. It should not have all the attributes. It should not have all the attributes. In super key you can see customer id along with customer name. This combination will be called as super key. Customer id, customer phone number, this combination will be also called as super key. If you are taking all the attributes along with primary key, then it is not a super key, then it is not a super key. All keys of a table should not be there along with the customer, along with the primary key. If you are having such combination, then it is not a super key. Super key should have only selected keys along with our primary key, right? So super key, how you are going to create in this table? Customer id and customer name, one super key. Customer id, customer phone number, another super key. If you are having all the keys along with primary key, then it is not a super key. Alternate keys, these keys are very important in database management system because these keys is going to define the primary key. So alternate keys is a column or a group of columns in a table that uniquely identifies every row in that respective table. So a table can have multiple choices for primary key, but but only one key can be set as a primary key. So what's the rule of primary key? In a table we can have only one primary key, we cannot have more than one primary key. But how you are going to select? So for example, you have a table data, from the table data you are picking this can be primary key. So from, you will be having choices for the primary key. From that particular group of attributes or the keys, you are going to select one as a primary key, right? So all keys which are not primary key are called as alternate key from that group. So let's consider this customer table. In customer table I have the fields or the keys or the column names as customer id, customer name, customer phone number, email address. So in this what are the different fields to which I can make primary key? What are the different fields to which I can make primary key? So these are eligible fields or eligible keys for primary key. First is customer id, customer phone number, and email address. So customer id I can make primary key. Customer phone number also I can make because it is also unique. Phone numbers are unique, email addresses are also unique. So I'm going to make all these. From these three keys I can make any one of the key as a primary key, right? So I'm going to select customer id as a primary key. I'm going to select customer id as a primary. Why I'm going to select? Because customer id will be created from the our organization side, whereas phone number, email address from the user end. So it can be changed at any point of time. Customer id will be unique for my database, so I'm making customer id. I'm making customer ID for myself. So customer ID, I'm making a primary key from the this eligible keys. From this eligible keys. So what about the customer phone number and email address? This will be called as alternate keys to our primary key. This will be called as alternate keys to our primary key. So customer phone number, email address will be called as alternate keys, whereas this customer ID will be called as primary key. Customer ID will be called as primary key, and customer phone number and email address will be called as alternate keys to our primary key. So this is all about our alternate keys. Let's see the next, candidate key. Candidate key is also very important key. So it is going to have the same impact as we have the primary key. So primary key, alternate key, super key, candidate key, all different types of keys, is the main motto of all the keys is to have a unique data in a database, unique data in a table of any database. So let's see the candidate key. Candidate key is a set of attributes that uniquely identifies tuples in a table. Tuples means rows or records. in a table. It is also going to uniquely identify the data. So primary key is a super key with no repeated attributes. This is very important. So primary key is also a super key, whereas super key is going to have the primary key along with other attributes. In candidate key, it is clearly mentioned you cannot have repeated attributes. In super key, you can have the repeated attributes. Every table must have at least a single candidate key. At least single candidate key. What does it mean? It can have more than one candidate key. A table can have more than one candidate key. Remember this. At least a single candidate key means minimum one candidate key should be there in any table of a database. So it means that you can have more than one candidate key in your table, whereas primary key is unique. Only one you should have. Only one primary key you must have in a table. You cannot have more than one primary key in a table, whereas candidate key you can have minimum one. Maximum is based upon your available attributes or the fields of a table in a database you can have. So minimum you should have a one candidate key in your table of a database. So candidate keys are as strong as primary keys. So the functionality of candidate keys is same as strong as primary key. Primary keys will make sure you to have a unique data in a table. Candidate key is also making sure that the data in a table should be unique. So let's see this customer table. Let's see this customer table. I have a customer ID as a primary key, customer name, customer phone number, and customer email address. So let's find out the candidate key for this table. So you can have more than one candidate key. So at least a single candidate key should be there in your table. So let's see the how many candidate keys I can have in this customer table. So these are my eligible primary keys, right? From this I have created the primary key as my customer ID is my primary key. So what are the remaining fields? I have the remaining keys. I have customer phone number and email address. So these two are alternate keys. Now, how to construct the candidate key? How to construct the candidate key? How many candidate keys I can have in my table? It's very simple. How many number of alternate keys you have? Two, and primary key is one. So you can have total three candidate keys in this table. So this candidate key should be in combination of alternate keys. Should be in combination of alternate keys to the primary key. So let's see this. First one, I have the customer ID, customer phone number, email address. One type of candidate key I can have. Next, customer ID and customer phone number. One type of candidate key I can have. Next, customer ID and email address. One type of candidate key. So this customer phone number and email address are the part of are eligible fields for primary key, and this customer phone number and email address of this table are called as alternate keys. So the combination of primary key and alternate key, the combination of primary key and alternate key will create the candidate key. Remember this. So all the permutation combination I have here along with primary key and alternate key. So alternate keys and primary keys together will create the candidate key. So this is our candidate keys. These are all are our candidate keys of this respective table. So I can create three candidate keys in this table. So every table must have at least a single candidate key, means minimum one. So I can create three candidate keys, maximum three, minimum one, maximum three candidate keys I can create for this customer table. So let's see this customer ID and customer name. Customer ID and customer name. So customer name is there in alternate key? No. So this is not a candidate key. This is not a candidate key. Candidate key means it should come from alternate key. Along with primary, you should have a alternate key. Then only candidate key. If you are selecting any other column other than alternate key with primary key, it's not a candidate key. So customer ID and customer name cannot be candidate key. So this is all about our candidate key. Next, foreign key. So to start with the foreign key, you must understand the concept of primary key. So if you have still not understood or not clear with the what is a primary key, rewind my video and check again or learn once again the primary key. So prime to understand the foreign key, primary key is very important. So let's start with the foreign key. So foreign key is a column that creates a relationship between two tables or more than two tables. So foreign key main purpose is to have a relationship between tables, relationship between two or more tables. So let's consider this two table. I have a customer table and product table. So each table you can see having a primary key. You can see the primary key. Customer table, customer ID is a primary key. In product table, product ID as a primary key. So these two primary keys are there. Now I want to establish the I want to establish the relationship between these two tables. For example, customer table is different and as well as product table is different. Any customer want to purchase any product. So I'm going to create another table. The name of the table I want to create as a purchase table. In the purchase table, how these two customer table and product table should have a relationship in between. So foreign key is going to create a vital role over here. So let's see this. Purchase table I have created. A customer is going to purchase. Whenever a customer is going to purchase, customer ID and customer name should be there. If any customer is going to purchase any product, so that product ID, product name and its price. So this is all about our purchase table. So in this purchase table you can see I have a customer ID. Customer ID is a primary key in this purchase table, and product id or product table is a foreign key, so in this way this customer table and product table will be having a relationship between them. So this purchase table with the help of this purchase table, customer table and product table is having some relationship. So product id in our purchase table is a foreign key. This customer ID in our purchase table is a primary key and product ID is a foreign key. Product ID is a foreign key. Clear with this foreign key? So let's foreign key is a column that creates a relationship between two tables or two or more tables. The purpose of foreign key is to maintain data integrity and allow navigation between two different tables in database. So as we have the two different tables, in each table we are going to maintain the data integrity, which customer is purchasing which particular product and what is the price, how you are maintaining. So which customer means customer table, which product means product table. So this product table and customer table you are combining in a purchase table. So the purpose of foreign key is to maintain data integrity. You are maintaining data integrity and allows navigation between two tables, two or more tables. You are able to navigate from customer table to product table to customer table. Foreign keys are the column of a table which is used to point to the primary key of another table. So here in the example I have seen product ID. So this product ID is a foreign key, as well as this foreign key is a somewhere is a primary key. So this product ID is a primary key in product table. So foreign keys are the column of a table which is used to point the primary key of another table. So product ID you are pointing to the another product ID of a product table. It acts as a cross-referencing between two tables as it references the primary key of another table. It is also called as cross-referencing. Data should be entered in foreign key column with great care. Why it is should be great care? Because if you are entering any wrong data in your foreign key, it is going to impact on the relationship between two tables, relationship between two or more tables. So data whatever you are going to enter into the primary key, you have to make sure it is has to be very much correct data, very much correct and authentic data. Next, this concept is also called as referential integrity. Referential integrity means you are going to refer one particular table with the other table. You are going to have the references. So this concept of foreign key is also called as referential integrity. Referential integrity. Next I have the compound key. What is a compound key? By the name itself, compound means it is a combination of some keys, combination of some keys. So we have the candidate key, it is also combination. So that combination and this compound combination, how these are different, let's see. Compound key has two or more attributes that allow you uniquely recognize a specific records. So it is also combination of two or more attributes, compound key. So how it is going to do, it is possible that each column may be unique by itself within database. So it is possible if you have a primary key in your database, a table, or if you don't have a primary key, but still you have to maintain unique data. If you are having primary key will look after the uniqueness of the data. If you don't have, then how you are going to maintain the uniqueness in your data? So what are the different combination of keys you have in your database table, so that the unique data should be there in the table? So compound key is a solution for that. So let's see this sports table. For example, student id, I have the column student name, sports id, sports name. So coming to this sports day table, student id, student name, so it's somewhere there in the college database or a school database, right? Student id and student name. So these two fields are the part of some other table. Sports id and sports name is also a part of some other. So I have created another table that student id, student name, and that particular student has enrolled for some sport name. So the sport id is also mentioned here. So in this you can see I have the repeated number of entries here, repeated number of entries. So what are these repeated entries I have? The first is Ravi, student id is 125, s1 first year student 125. Same first year student 125 Ravi has enrolled for cricket, has enrolled for hockey as well, right? In these two sports the student has enrolled. Whereas Shiva of final year 788, 788, okay, enrolled for hockey and kabaddi. So these two students has enrolled for two different sports. This is possible. On a sport day, one student can enroll on different sporting event. So like this, these two students also enroll in two different games. So in this way, how you are going to find out the unique data in the table? How you are going to find out the unique data? So for this, as you can focus here, student ID and sport ID. Student ID is a one of the primary key. It can be it is a primary key because student id is nothing but a student roll number. So student roll number or student id is unique in the college or the school database, whereas sport id will be unique in the sports table, will be unique in sports table. Clear with this? So these two are the primary key somewhere. Now they are as a foreign key here, they are as a foreign key here, so that this relationship between two different, that is a student table and a sports table, can exist here in sports day table. So I'm going to have this sport id and s- student id and sport id. The combination of these two will be called as my compound key, will be called as my compound key. So the purpose of compound key is to find out the unique record in the table, unique record in the table. This is very important. A compound key, a compound key will have the combination of foreign keys. Compound key is a combination of foreign keys. So this student id, sport id are the primary keys in some way in their respective table. In this table they are acting as a foreign key, they are acting as a foreign keys. So these two combination of student id and sport id will be called as compound key, as well as they are the foreign keys in this table, they are foreign keys in this table. Clear with this? So this is a concept of compound key. So let's see the next concept, composite key. Composite key. So what is a composite key? The difference between compound key and composite key is that any part of compound key can be foreign key, as discussed. So in compound key, you will be having a foreign key. you will be having a foreign key. But composite key may or may not be the part of foreign key, may or may not be the part of foreign key. So let's see this. Same table, student ID, student name, student sport ID, sport name. So I have this. So I am selecting this three: student ID, student name, sport ID. So yes, student ID, sport ID are the foreign keys in this table. Sport name and student name are not the foreign keys here. So the combination of student ID, student name, and sport ID, the combination of student ID, student name, and sport ID is a composite key. Is a composite key. Clear with this? So the composite key may or may not be part of foreign key, may or may not be part of foreign key, whereas compound key must be a foreign key, should be a part of foreign key. So this is all about our composite key. So let's see the quick recap of all the keys which we have learned in this video. Super key is a group of single or multiple keys. Primary key uniquely identify every row in the table. Alternate key column. What is the alternate key? Column uniquely identify every row in that particular table. Candidate key set of attributes that uniquely identifies tuple. Foreign key column that creates a relationship between two or more tables. Compound key has two or more attributes uniquely recognize a specific record. Composite key consists of more than one attributes to uniquely identified row in a table. So this is all about the keys in a database. So in coming videos, I will be talking more in detail about or more different concept related to database management system. So I request you to please stay tuned on this on my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share my video. Thank you.